Hello friends, I hope you all are doing great. Today, I, CA Pujan Kapadia, welcome you all on my today's lecture of the subject Financial Management. I hope you all are doing wonderful at your place, staying safe. Today, we are going to start with the topic of basic introduction. First of all, I would like to let you know that this online lectures are going to be the combination of knowledge sharing, and additionally, in the middle of the lectures, you will be having certain MCQ kind of questions which you need to answer. As a result of which, I request all the students to pay due attention on each and every topic discussed over here. So, before wasting any kind of time, I would like to start with the total topics coverage of today's video. Firstly, we are going to discuss about the meaning and definition of financial management. Secondly, we are going to take care of the nature of financial management. Like what is financial management? What are the characteristics of the financial management? Thirdly, and most importantly, we are going to discuss the topic finance and related disciplines. This is basically going to cover how financial management is related to different subjects like economics, accounting, mathematics, and other management areas. So, we would like to start with the first slide, that is meaning. First of all, before reading the text written over here, I would just like to draw your attention at the figure that is drawn below. You can see a symbol in a form of equation which read as finance plus management is equal to financial management. So before going into the entire meaning of what is financial management, I would like to discuss two different words, that is finance and management. Now, if I ask you what is finance, you would likely say, sir, anything which is related to funds, anything which is related to money is definitely going to be termed as finance. It's correct. So when the word finance pops up, we always say it is something related to money, something related to fund. Second question arises, what is management? So if I take you back in your 12th standard, you may be studying either organization of commerce or business studies, by whatever name you call it. What is management? You have learned a process called PODC, which stands as planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. Yes, friends. So what is management? It is a process which consists of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. Now, if I club the meaning of these two words, that is finance and management, I can put it as planning, organizing, directing, and controlling of funds or of money will be definitely be termed as financial management. I hope I am clear with the meaning of the two different words, what is finance and what is management. Now let's read the definition written above. Financial management means planning, organizing, directing, and controlling financial activities. So here we can understand the definition is nothing but the combination of the meaning of the two words management and finance. Now let's understand what is the meaning of each and every word from the viewpoint of finance. Firstly, we are talking about planning of fund. Planning means over here from where you are going to get the fund. How much fund do you require to finance a project? What would be the cost of capital? That is, what is the cost of borrowing the fund from outside? Either you are going to use your own capital or you are going to borrow that capital from outside is a part of planning. Second talks about organizing. Organizing is basically you need to allocate your funds. How much fund you are going to use for which activities. You are going to lay down the structure of the utilization of your finance. Third part comes directing. Directing is basically something which is giving you guidance, which is giving you supervision of how to allocate, how to utilize the funds that you have taken from the market. And lastly, the word says as controlling. Controlling means you are comparing your actual performance with the standard set by you. In this case, what we are going to do is we are going to cover or compare the standard set the fund limit that we have decided to be utilized, whether the funds are properly used for that particular purpose or not. So in crux, if I want to write down the definition, the meaning of financial management, I can write it as planning, organizing, directing, and controlling of the financial activities. Now, what does financial activity include? Procurement, that is, paisa kahan se aayega, and second is utilization, that is where we are going to use the fund. I hope I am clear with this slide of the meaning of financial management. Moving ahead to the definition. As the word say, definition, you need to learn it properly and try to write it in the exact words that are given over here. Let's look into the first definition given in the first box above. Financial management means the activity concerned with planning, raising, controlling, and administering of funds used in the business. This definition is given by the authors Gutman and Doggle. Over here, we are talking about 4 important activities with related to the funds. The first is planning. As I said, planning is basically how much fund do you require to project any of your business proposal. Second is raising, that is from where you are going to get your fund. Let's take an example. If I am planning to set up a factory, I have approximated that I will require 1 crore rupees to start up that particular factory. What is planning basically? Going to that expectation of 1 crore rupees. Second, I have already decided that my requirement is 1 crore rupees. From where I am going to get this fund is the part of raising. Whether I am going to use my own equity share capital or I am going to the banks and asking for the debt funds. That is, I am going to borrow the funds. It will come in the raising part. In this thing, as a businessman, I am definitely going to think the fund that is cheaper to me will be, of course, be borrowed by me. I need to make a rational choice. How much I am going to borrow from outside and how much I am going to use my own fund. Third is controlling. Controlling here basically talks about you need to see that you have approximated 1 crore rupees to set up a factory. Now you need to allocate that expense into different activities. Now after allocating the expense, I'm going to set a control. That is, I'm going to check. For example, the entire infrastructure cost should be 50 lakhs. Whether the 50 lakh rupees is going for that particular purpose or not will be a part of your controlling activity. And lastly, it is administering of funds. That is, you have borrowed the fund from the outside or you have invested your own capital in your project. But the most important part is properly administering, properly managing the fund that you are having in your hand. I hope I am clear with the first definition. Let's repeat it once again. It reads as the activity which is concerned with 4 things. That is planning, raising, controlling, and administering of fund used in the business. Now let's move to the second definition. I have purposefully given 2 definitions and I hope both are easier ones so you can easily learn the same. So the second definition reads as financial management deals with procurement of funds and their effective utilization in the business. This definition is given by the author S.C. Kuchel. In this particular definition, you need to lay stress only on the 2 important words. First is procurement of funds and second is effective utilization. Again, the meaning of procurement is how much fund you are going to get, from where you are going to finance this thing will be a part of procurement. And utilization means how you are going to invest the money you have collected, you have gathered. So how much in infrastructure, how much for raw material, how much for labor, etc. In crux, I can say from this definition, we can easily make out that financial management is basically talking only on 2 perspectives. One is how to get the fund and second is how to properly utilize that fund. That is पैसा लाना और उसको effectively business में utilize करना. I hope I am clear with the 2 things. First was meaning, second is definitions. Let's move to the third topic of the day. It reads as nature of financial management. In this, we are going to study that how financial management is. What are the basic characteristics of financial management? First point that is written over here, read as universal. Universal means all pervasive. Whether your business unit is small or it is big, if I'm talking about an individual proprietorship concern or I'm talking about a huge multinational company, the need of financial management is everywhere. As a result of which, it is termed to be universal. That is, its need is felt at every level of business. Size is irrelevant for it. Second is continuous process. Continuous processes, you cannot say that I have done financial management in the month of January, so I'm not going to do for the entire year. No, it is not like that. It is a never ending continuous process. You need to continuously monitor the utilization of fund. You need to continuously check whether the fund that you are utilizing is properly used for the decided activity or not. Third point is wider scope. Wider scope basically talks about we are not going to talk only of the money. We are moving a step ahead and checking about the sources of fund, that from where we can get the fund. Secondly, we always keep a watch on the market, that if the bank rates, that is the lending rate, falls. For example, as of now, if you will check the rates of home loan, they are available around 7%. So a person who was thinking to buy a house will definitely go for this time, because the rate that he used to pay before has been decreased drastically and it has reached to 7%. So as a businessman, we need to continuously monitor. So it's not only like once you get the fund and secondly utilize the same. You need to go ahead. You need to keep a regular monitoring on all the other factors that are affecting your financial requirement in the business. Next point is measuring performance. A most important point, I had decided that I was requiring 1 crore rupees to start my project. I have easily got that 1 crore rupees from different sources. Now I need to check I had implemented or investment that 1 crore rupees in the project that I have decided. Whether the project is earning the decided revenue out of it or not is also a part of financial management. It is not only like you have got the fund of 1 crore rupees, that's all. No, you need to check that whether it is properly implemented or utilized for the project said. And secondly, you need to monitor the cash flow that you have expected to earn out of that particular project, whether are you getting that cash flow or not. Next point is related to all the disciplines. It is not like that एक साइड financial management है और बाकी के साइड बाकी सारे subjects है. No, financial management is interlinked with each and every subject that we deal with. Take it accountancy, take it economics, take it mathematics, take it marketing management. With each and every field of study, with each and every discipline, the topic of financial management is related, which we are going to deal with in the latter part of this lecture. And the last part, and the most important part, why to study financial management? The answer to this question is decision making. Financial management helps you to make various decisions that are supposed to be taken by the top level managers. So this is the basic understanding of the nature of financial management. Now there is a diagram and the second part of this slide which read as financial management decisions are divided into three different kind of decisions, starting with financing decision, second is investment decision, and third is dividend decision. Friends, if I have to keep the entire subject into three different words, entire financial management is nothing. It is just mastering these three different kinds of decision. That is your financing decision, investment decision, and dividend decision. अगर आपको ये तीन decisions के बारे में सारी चीजें पता चल जाती है, trust me friends, you are through with the financial management subject. Now let's see each and every decision in detail. First word that I have used is financing decision. Now I'll be explaining you what are the different things that will be coming under this decision. Point number one, what we are going to decide or study in financing decision is how much capital do I require to start my business. The first is determining the amount of fund that you require. In our example, it was 1 crore rupees. Once you have decided that your requirement is 1 crore rupees, second question arises, from where I am going to get this 1 crore rupees? Whether I am going to invest it from my own capital or I am going to borrow the same amount from outside, from different creditors like banks, etc. So the second question is sources of capital. The first was determining the amount of capital. Second is sources of capital, that from where I'm going to get my amount. Third point is cost of capital. Now let's take an example. If I'm using my own capital, the opportunity cost of that capital is 10%. Kindly remark my example. The opportunity cost of using my own capital is 10%. If I am going for the second option, that is borrowing the capital from outside bank, they are lending me the funds at the rate of interest of 8%. So as a common businessman, it is a much easier choice to make कि मुझे 10% पे भी fund मिल रहा है, 8% पे भी मिल रहा है. So as a businessman, I am going to obviously choose the option of 8%. The 10%, the 8% is basically nothing. It is known as the cost of capital. So the basic thing that we study in the financing decision is amount of capital you require. Second is from where you are going to get that capital. Third is cost of capital. And the last word that may come in the future studies is capital structure. Capital structure is nothing. It is the combination of equity and debt that you use in your capital. For example, my requirement was 1 crore rupees, out of which I decide to use 60 lakhs from my own capital and 40 lakhs from the bank loan. So my capital structure is 60 lakhs of equity and 40 lakhs of debt. I guess I am clear with the first decision, that is your financing decision. Moving ahead to the second part, investment decision. In investment decision, we are basically going to talk about that the amount which we have collected, in our example, it was 1 crore, where we are going to invest that particular amount. Whether we want to invest it for a longer term, that is, I want to start a new business and I feel the business will be lined up. It may take 3 to 5 years to line up that particular business. It will be the part of long-term investment decision. Second is short-term investment decision. For example, in this COVID crisis, I am facing liquidity crunch. I want to pay salary of my workers, as a result of which I require finance. So this is basically a short-term investment decision. Your investment decisions may be broadly classified into two types. First is long-term and second is short-term. So first was financing decision, in which you have brought 1 crore rupees. Second is investment decision, where you have utilized that 1 crore rupees. Now recall the definition that we have studied. Financial management deals with two things: procurement of fund, and second is utilization of funds. Moving to the third part, that is dividend decision. Dividend decision basically talks about only one thing. After doing the entire business, at the end of year, I am earning 10 lakh rupees. Now here the question arises, how much amount of profit should I retain and how much amount of profit should I distribute to my shareholders in the form of dividend? So basically, for example, I have earned 10 lakh rupees per annum. I am deciding to keep 6 lakh rupees with me in form of retained earnings, or you can say reserves. And remaining 4 lakhs, I have decided to distribute to all the shareholders in the form of dividend. The dividend decision talks about only one thing, that how much we are supposed to retain and how much we are supposed to pay out. In crux, the entire financial management will be talking about only there is three things, that is financing, investment, and dividend decisions. I hope I am clear with this figure. Moving ahead, it's time to test your knowledge. Let's check it out. How much have you retained from the first part of the video? What I'm going to do over here is I'm going to provide you 5 MCQ questions. I will be providing 30 seconds per question. A question will remain for 30 seconds on your screen. You need to mark correct answer along with you. After completing all the 5 MCQs, we are going to discuss the correct answers of each and every one. I hope I am clear and you are ready. So your time starts now. Well, friends, I hope you are ready with all your answers. So let's start discussing the questions. The first question was, which of the following is not the financial management decision? Options were financing, investing, dividend, and product mix selection. We have just studied that there are totally three kinds of financing division, which include financing, investing, and dividend. So the right answer over here is D, that is product mix selection, because this is basically the part of your production management function. Second is, which of the following is not a part of financing decision? I have explained financing deals with basically three things. First was sources of fund, second is cost of capital, and the last one was capital structure. Option number C, determining profitable alternative to deploy funds, is a part of investment decisions. That is, पैसा आ तो गया है, अब उसको invest कहाँ पे करना है? So the correct answer to this question is option number C, determining profitable alternative to deploy the funds. Third question was, financial management do not covers dash of the funds. The simple question, recall the definition of management. It is a process consisting of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. You are having three words, but the word staffing was not included in that particular meaning part. So the right answer to this question is option B, staffing. Next question is, investment decisions deal with dash decisions. You might be aware about this. I have just recalled in the slide that investing decision basically talks about two types of decisions, long term as well as short term. So the correct answer is C, both A and B. Last question was, financial management decisions are majorly classified into dash types of decisions. Options are 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope all of you might have answered this correctly. The correct answer is option C, that is 3. There are three kinds of decisions: financing decisions, पैसा आएगा कहाँ से; second is investing decisions, पैसा invest कहाँ पे करना है; and third is dividend decisions, जो मैंने earn किया है उसमें से कितना मैं retain करूंगा और कितना मैं shareholders में distribute करूंगा. I hope all of you have got all the answers right. If not, I would just request you guys to just go through to the first part of the video, so that all the topics that we have covered today are clear with you. Moving ahead, the last part of this video is finance and related disciplines. I have used one point in the nature of financial management, where I was talking about it is not like that financial management is on one side and all the other disciplines are on the other side. Basically, financial management is interrelated with all the different fields of studies like economics, accounting, mathematics, and other management areas. Here we are going to study how the various concepts of economics will be implemented with finance, how the different concepts of accounting will be implemented with finance, different concepts of mathematics used in finance, and even vice versa, that finance concepts are also used in different kinds of studies. Well, let's start with the interrelation of the first subject, that is financial management with economics. You are very well aware that economics concepts are broadly classified into two parts, that is macroeconomic factors and microeconomic factors. First, let's check out the interrelationship with respect to macroeconomic factors. There are certain macroeconomic factors which has a direct linkage on various financial management decisions that we take from time to time. The first is GDP growth rate. GDP growth rate basically talks about at what rate a country is growing. Second is the rate of interest. You know that government keeps on changing the rate of interest. To correct myself, I would say RBI keeps on changing the rate of interest from time to time. Sometimes they are high, sometimes they are low. So this rate of interest has a direct relation with various financial decisions. Third point is corporate taxes. You are well aware that the rate of tax differs for company, individual, partnership, etc. Moreover, the rate of taxes also are different for different level of income groups. As a result of which, when I'm going to take any kind of financial decision, I give due consideration to the existing corporate tax rate structure. Next point is availability of funds. Sometimes, if there is a shortage of fund in the economy, government boost fund money supply in the market so that people can easily avail funds. For example, in this pandemic crisis of COVID-19, we have seen many announcements done by government, as a result of which I can surely say that government wants fund to flow in the economy. As a result of which, in the current scenario, there is ample availability of fund. Only thing is how wisely you borrow it and utilize it. Last part is inflation rate. What is the value of your money? These are the 5 basic macroeconomic factors which are duly considered while taking any kind of financial decision. Now let's see in the box on the right hand side that where these concepts are used. First is financial leverage. We are having a separate topic on the subject, but to brief you out, I can say how much I am using debt capital in order to improve the earning for my equity shareholder. So how I am managing the outside borrowed capital in order to maximize the wealth of my own equity shareholder is the concept of financial leverage, where the concepts of rate of interest, growth rate, inflation rate are duly used. Second is capital structure. I have discussed earlier that if I have thought to take 60 lakhs as equity and 40 lakhs as a borrowed capital, then I would say my capital structure consists of two things: 60% of equity, 40% of debt. While deciding this capital structure, again, availability of funds is a basic question where we consider the same. Next is dividend decisions. Dividend decisions basically talk about how much to retain, how much to pay. Again, the corporate taxes come into the force when we decide the same thing. I will deal with it when we come to the chapter of dividend. And last is time of raising the fund. I know I have a requirement of 1 crore rupees, but is this the right time to raise the fund, or I should wait for the interest rate to go down further? So we need to consider various macroeconomic factors at the time of raising the fund also. So this shows how various concepts of economics are considered at the time of taking financial management decisions. Moving downwards, we see microeconomic factors. Microeconomic factors are basically those which affect the enterprise or a business at their own business level. So it is not a global implementing factor, but it is basically from business to business or enterprise to enterprise. The first thing is marginal analysis. What is my gain? What is my cost of producing one additional unit is what we studied in marginal cost concept and marginal revenue concept. Second is cost benefit analysis. As a businessman, if I'm thinking to invest in any kind of project, the most important thing that I study is cost benefit analysis. That is, इसमें पैसा डाल के मुझे क्या फायदा होने वाला है? I need to consider the same thing. Third, and the most famous one, I guess all of you might be knowing, break-even analysis. The situation where a businessman neither earns profit nor incurs loss. Now, where we are using this microeconomic factors are optimum finance mix. Optimum finance mix is basically that level of financial capital structure where the cost of capital is minimal. Second is product pricing. How much price should I keep for my product so that it is competitive in the market as well as it is earning a good amount of profit for me. Third is optimum cash level. Optimum cash level basically talks about the cash I am holding with me. It should not be more, it should not be less. If it would be less, then it is beneficial. If the revenue expenditure are constantly incurring, I won't be able to pay my regular expenditure. So it is necessary to have sufficient amount on cash on hand. But at the same time, if I'm having excess cash, which means if I'm requiring cash of suppose rupees 10 lakh and I'm holding 15 lakhs of cash, I can say the 5 lakh is my idle cash. If I would have invested that 5 lakh rupees in any alternative investment proposals, I would be earning income out of that, which I am not earning. As a result of which, it is necessary to determine what is the optimum cash level that we should keep. Again, in deciding these three decisions, various microeconomic factors comes to play where we consider them and take our financial decisions. I hope I am clear with the linkage of financial management with economics concept. It is macroeconomic factors and microeconomic factors. Well, for today, I guess this is sufficient enough to take a pause for. I guess the lecture that I have conducted today was clear to all the students. Please refer the things that we have studied today and do a due revision of the same so that we can catch the train from where we have stopped. Thank you all for the patient listening. Thank you, students. Hope to see you soon in my next lecture.